Alright. As you can see, when I can take care of myself, I'm gonna take care of myself. I'm gonna take care of myself. Today, it's another day. You know what I'm saying? The Lord has made, and I'm thankful. I can be back at it again. You know what I mean? I really don't necessarily have to have a topic. I really don't. I just press record. There you have it. And I just get to talking. But most of the time, whenever I just have my mind on God, or I'm moved to express myself pertaining to God, things gonna flow. You know what I mean? I could address some things that, some challenges, stuff like that, but I'm not gonna let that sway me either. And there's the power in the tongue, so some things I don't even want to give vitality to. All is well. But, hey man, you know what I mean? It was some nice water. So like I ain't ate all day. I mean, I ate this morning, early this morning, before sun up. But I can always just ride this on out, you know what I'm saying? Take me a 12-hour, or I can push it all the way into in the morning again, you know what I'm saying? Ain't no pressure with me for real. But I'm taking on my day, one day at a time. I don't know when I'm gonna get back into working out. Most likely I'll get back into it though, you know what I mean? That's another thing all in itself for real, you know what I mean? I'm gonna get back into that. Most likely I am because, you know, when you got a little mischief and all, you still gotta make sure you fit and ready. You know what I mean? For whatever. You know what I'm saying? In a place like this, you can't get too comfortable. And man, I just ask God, forbid that I ever have to use Mars. You know what I'm saying? For real. For real. You know? And I'm in a situation where I'm still gonna hold myself accountable regardless of, you know, a person being who they are. I mean, in a place like this, you can't even expect a person to know what responsibilities is. You can't expect a person to know what keeping it real is. You can't expect a person to have that type of rationality in a place like this. Nah, I'm not even gonna say I'm looking for that, you know? And that goes to a lot of things that we encounter in life, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes, I mean, if you ain't of the world and you claim to be spiritual, sometimes, man, even when you're having differences, conflicts, disagreements, stuff like that, it's not a person's place to know where you're coming from. It's not their responsibility to know where you're coming from. You can't possibly expect a person to be able to comprehend where you're coming from spiritually. That's not their job. Not a person who comes out of the world. You know what I'm saying? That's not a person's responsibility. Sometimes you gotta service them in the understanding that they lack and think for others. Just what it is. That goes a lot, man. Like I've had a little situation with a family member, or I'm gonna say my co-parent. And I've been trying to aid and assist and provide the mental security as best as I can for the sake of my child, you know, or I mean the children, period. Because she's a parent, not just my child, but others, you know. And man,
some of the responses I get so insensitive, so irrational. You know what I'm saying? It's like as spiritual as you would expect that person to be, you can't really expect that from that person. You know what I mean? And I've been trying to get some type of coincidence or get a person to coincide with me for years. You know what I mean? In parenting and co-parenting and making sure our child has better. And I mean, I can understand me being accountable for me being irresponsible in a sense. I was young, kind of naive. When I ended up coming to prison under armed robbery because I didn't know how to lose the right way. I had to work hard, living right, got myself established. Then all things come falling down, bills, and then I'm trying to fight to get custody of my oldest boy at the time. And it was like life and it got the best of me. The anxiety, drove me to perform actions that I thought that I would never execute in life no more. I thought, I had to give my life to God before I come to prison, and I was part of ministry and stuff like that. So, hey man, things happen. And sometimes, man, even when you're trying to promote better, promote good health, promote better thinking, and give good counsel, sometimes, man, it can be used, people dangle that, mishap, or by me being in prison, like, over my head. You know what I'm saying? As if, like, the advice is frivolous or not substantial enough for a person to actually find relevant to utilize. You know what I'm saying? And, it's difficult when a person still wants to just contend with, you living upright and doing right, and walking upright in life. Sometimes, man, I'm just be straight, like, shit, man, she doesn't want to just be in that, disposition or in agreement with operating with me in a more professional, decent manner in life. As if I haven't taken up maturity, regardless of me still being subjected to prison, doesn't mean that I'm still not a fit father to, bring about some type of order, some custom, some structure in the life of my child. You know what I'm saying? So that thing is kind of like when I give, certain, when I demand certain respect, I demand that my child uphold some type of mannerism and respect and integrity, and courtesy in this everyday walk in life. It's like you go against the grain and operate totally outside of what I'm, not even just recommending, but laying as a prerequisite for my child to abide by, And it's like difficult because it's like, not only that, it's just being a father from in prison, especially if you're a willing father. So, you're trying to be evident in your child's life. It's a tough thing, you know what I'm saying? You still got the resentment, child's mother may not be in the right position in life, but then yet use you as an excuse for, them being in the position they're in, in life, if that is an excuse, you know what I'm saying? But to still not, want to pick up the pieces and make things work and us move forward, and being more sufficient in life, period. It's a difficult thing to do when, you have a co-parent that is, operating in their own ordinance and mannerism of how they go about their life and based off of their own belief, So I was dealing with some difficulty in that, man. It's an experience, yeah, and even with fathers who are subjected to the difficulty of still trying to be a dad and not just a father in the child's life. You know what I'm saying? Man, it's not it's not. I'm not going to say it's an easy thing to do because, for one, you can't demand and enforce your love. You can't demand and enforce your providence. You can't demand and enforce it. And it's like, it doesn't make you any more invaluable because you can't secure them financially due to your constrictions of being incarcerated. You know what I'm saying? But still being there means so much, you know what I'm saying? And when you're trying to provide for the child in whatever way, that is healthy for the child, it shouldn't be something that a man has to really wrestle or contend with. Now, when you come across the rejection or that part of just rebelling against, whatever you offer as a parent from your circumstance, whenever you come across that type of, difficulty or somewhat of a conflict, know how to digress, and leave things in God's hands because, there will be a day that you'll be granted God's will, I don't know your situation, and you may be serving life in prison, but still want to be evident in your child's life, still know how to, still just be there, just be there, even when, you're not accepted. You know what I'm saying? And it's not saying that I'm not accepted by my child's parent. It's just a co-parent. It's just like it's more like my child's mother wants to do things her way, and she has a lifestyle that is more lenient. And I have a young man now, little boy. He's an adolescent, and she's a woman thinking that her productivity in the way she has conditioned our child is sufficient. And it's like he lacks in many areas as a male figure. You know what I'm saying? That, I'm only trying to aid and assist thereof, you know what I'm saying? And it's not something that is, it's not a good feeling, to be denied in those ways, because when certain things have to be instilled into the child that is necessary, coming from a man to a young boy, a woman should know how to yield in allowing those customs, that identity to be instilled into the child, concerning a male, child. And that's just, man. But I decided, since my child has, started operating outside of what I approve, I decided to digress, and give my intentions and my attention in what's in front of me, And it's not a good feeling to have to express tough love, but I'm not going to let anything get in the way of me fulfilling my duties by God, such as being a parent, and also, executing my divine objectives in this world. So that's why I kind of been like, I wasn't going through depression. It's just more like sorting things out on how I need to move forward. Sometimes you have to come to a decision to detach from certain things. The detachment is not necessarily like, I'm just leaving my child and just, nah. I'm still there. I'm still available whenever they reach out, they call. I'm still there, you know. But when it comes down to being there, or being utilized and exploited financially, when it comes down to some of the favor that, or me just making sacrifices in certain areas, you know, I have a boundary now. But so far I would go in my application knowing the circumstance I'm in. Now, if I were home and not having to be relying upon others to implement certain things into my child life, you know what I'm saying? Then it'd be a different story. You know what I mean? But I can't overly extend myself beyond my own means for my child and inconveniencing other lives to, you know, service for me while I'm not there. You know what I'm saying? So some things, man, have to be implemented that, you know, so like, still when it comes down to being a good counsel and having to sit down at that round table with my child's mother, I'm always open, regardless of how much of a insensitive person she can be sometimes. You know what I'm saying? I know that we are all still learning and we ain't the best communicators. So, you know, maybe life will start life and, you know, the going get tough and you go to realizing, you go to learning, like, and come into a realization of, you know, what God has put in your life to, you know, help you with. You start appreciating the things that God has, you know, blessed you with. And, you know, if you still have that will to, you know, move forward in progression and in growth and edification, then yeah, you know, but there'll come a time where, you know, life is going to require her to be a better parent. Right now, you know what I'm saying? She's, you know, she's got her hands on the wheel, bro. You know, and I can't blame her. Having to tie her own camel down, living her life, I can't blame her for that. But sometimes you don't know how good you got it until it's gone. You know, I've been learning my lesson from that. That's why I work hard every day to be a better parent, a better associate, you know, a better participant in every measure of my life. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, life is how it is, you know what I mean? I've been dealing with some things, but I'm still here, smiling, taking on my day without fear, loving with love ain't never been. You know what I'm saying? But, I don't know, I just feel I sit down and have this talk. Even though I kind of, I mean, I would love to expound, but I'm already kind of like stretching this video out far enough, you know what I mean? So, but yeah, man, just, when God blessed me though, with my family one day, or with the foundation to establish my own family one day, I'm gonna show up and show out. And I'm gonna make sure, you know, I'll never be like my father. I'll make sure that I'll never be like who I was. And I'm gonna make sure that I become more effective as a companion in life. I'm not gonna say I was always at fault for all my relationships that I've been in, because I was a very loyal person too. I think I can't say there's no such thing as loving too hard. I think that I just made a woman too precious. I kind of made her as equal as God in a sense. I had her dwell in the realm of God and trust as God's throne. And that's something that I will never do anymore. So you know, you live and you learn. You live and you learn. But yeah, man. When it comes down to me being a better me, being a better man, being a better lover, being a better friend, being a better family member, for those who still are in agreement with who I am today. Yeah, man. I mean, God is going to grant me to reunite and reinstate me to my resources again, to be able to go out there and till this land. God is going to grant me with my freedom. And when that happens, all those who aren't coinciding or in agreement with who I am today will not be a part of the family that I'm establishing. Period. And that's just period. Just because we're kin, just because we're family and we're kin doesn't mean anything to me anymore. It doesn't mean anything until it means anything, until it means something to the family member in reciprocity. You know, I only care as much as a person wants me to care. And I only value and make valuable things due to a person's own appraisal. Like, I'm gonna always be genuine, but I'm not gonna overly extend that love, no. Just as I've been left behind and left for dead, just because, just because I've been done wrong in like an indescribable way. People think I don't know. Just because you think that you wage in the shadows with things I do not know. It don't matter to me because of what you see right now is God sustaining me beyond what you have done and are doing. You don't know my worth. You never had the authority to appraise or stipulate my worth. But what you see today is God sustaining me and showing you you need not meddle with what God writes meaningful in this world. And with my every gesture, I'm going to try to find the greatest way to tell God thank you. Beyond all the oppression, beyond all the slander, the disrespect, the ridicule, beyond all the schemes, the traps, beyond all that, you will not get in the way of that gratitude and these gestures, for real. And for you to think you can fathom any aspect of how my life has been written right now, woe to you, for real. But I mean, I'm a parent. I'm a loving, willing father. But I'm not going to force myself to be a dad in my children's life. That's not going to be forced. I deserve the respect and the honor as a parent. And I'm also demanding that. Regardless of how you feel. And that's just how I feel about my dad. You know what I'm saying? Like, regardless of who he is and what he's done. Man, I love that man. I never deprive him of being a better him. I never deprive him of wanting better, wanting to establish better. Even if that's not involving me in his life, I'm still gonna want good for him. I still respect him, and I won't allow anyone to disrespect him or dishonor him, although he may have, lack some knowledge thereof, lack knowing thereof. You know what I'm saying? With that being said, man, this is another video, man, of me and my truth that I choose not to hide while I'm in prison. So, till next time, man, you'll see me again, man. I gotta go ahead and get showered up and clean this guy up, man. You know what I'm saying? Thank you, Lord, for letting me love me.